Alright, I'm going to do a quick review on two different stones. One is a hybrid stone, one is a Slater stone. I stuck these in the molds last Saturday, so it's been about a week they're in the molds. I took them out today, and I'll tell you what I found. So this is the Slater 22-inch. Now I'm really happy with how this came out of the mold. The Slater stone is really cool. It's really nice. Has a really nice surface. The seam is not real offensive or anything. This would be the top while it's in the mold, the bottom while it's in use. And it turned out all right. I could have worked a little bit harder to get the air bubbles out, but not too bad. And with just a little bit of sanding with a 36 grit sanding disc for my grinder, I'm gonna have that smoothed up. I'll probably put some hydraulic concrete patch to fill in those bubbles, and that's gonna require very little work. All in all, Slater stone turned out really nice. My only concern that you can kind of see, like here, I had it sitting on a bucket, a 5-gallon bucket. So that's the part that would have been on the bottom as I was making it, and it kind of has a little bit of a lump, like an egg shape here, where it was sitting in the bucket. It's not a huge deal. It's not a deal breaker. It's not completely odd shape. It's still round, as you can see. Now, moving on to the hybrid. The hybrid, it turned out okay. A couple of things, as you can see, compared to the Slater, the seam is really offensive. Like, there's a lot of really jagged concrete in there, and that's going to take a lot of work to smooth that out. So that's one big difference I noticed right away. I know hybrid, they mark their stones, like this one says 19 inches, 300 pounds. But anybody who uses stones knows that they're never going to weigh exactly what they say. So might as well not even put the weight on there, because I'm going to have to weigh it and spray paint the actual weight on there anyway. So 19 inch, put that, sure. But the 300 pounds, we know it's not going to weigh 300 on the dot. So let's just leave that off. So turning it over. So this is the part that would have been the top in the mold, the bottom one in use. And it just turned out a little rougher. Now I put in an equal amount of work on both these stones. And I didn't work one more than the other. I was trying to be really diligent in how I treated them while they were in the molds. And this one just turned out rougher than the Slater stone. The Slater, you can see it's smoother, fewer imperfections. Like I said, the stuff that we are looking at are where there were air bubbles, and I just didn't work hard enough on the top half of this to get the air bubbles out. I was really focused on the bottom half, so I didn't have any imperfections in the side of the stone that'll be face up when I'm storing them. For this one, the hybrid, it's just really rough. I don't know why that is. Like I said, I treated both of them the same when I was filling them and while I was making them in the molds. So all in all, I'm really happy to have two big stones to be working with, but the Slater stone takes the cake on this one. It's a better end product. Steve Slater is very approachable. Like, during the process of making this stone, I asked him a question about sealer and finisher, and he DM'd me back on Instagram like, right away and gave me links, helpful links, just stuff that I can use. So pretty cool. I'd have to give the win to the Slater stone if we're comparing. Again, if I had this, well, I will have it to do again. I have a 24-inch mold for a Slater stone, so it's going to be over 400 pounds. I'm going to make that one in the week coming up. And just like the guy who I borrowed these molds from, Joel Hendershot, he told me use 2 tires instead of a bucket to make these, and that's probably what I'll do next time to avoid that little deformation. And again, it's very, very slight. It's not anything that's going to make the stone any more awkward to use. So Slater stone for the win. If you guys are going to make your own stones, I recommend Quickcrete 5000 concrete. Go on the Slater stone website. They have a lot of cool stuff for finishing stones and whatnot. I'll do another video or picture series once I've sanded and finished and sealed the stones. The Slater stone honestly doesn't look like it's going to require much. It's already like shiny and nice. So I'm going to go to work on the hybrid soon, and I'll post another video or picture series when that's finished with some before and afters. But again, to recap, Slater, and it's a nice product. They don't have any markings, so you can weigh the stone once you're done with it, put your own markings on there. I like that. The hybrid, of course, it has the hybrid logo, and it has the inch measurement for the diameter and the approximate weight. And like I said, that we could go without the weight being impressed into the stone, because that's not what it's going to weigh. Also, thanks. Also, that real crusty seam, that's going to take a lot of extra work. And the bottom side, which would have been the top in the mold, just didn't turn out as good as the Slater stone. And it's not just like that on the 300. I made a 65-pound hybrid too for my wife and kids, and it turned out the same way in the mold. So this would have been the top and the mold, the bottom one in use. And it turned out the same as the 19-inch. Looks really pretty on the top. Again, it has the weight impressed in there, which I'm not a big fan of. But all in all, I would recommend Slater stone if you want a really high quality stone, easy to use mold. Hybrid was not difficult either. But I just think the Slater stone yielded a better product. That's just my opinion for what it's worth. I don't get paid by either of these companies or anything. Just going by what I've seen in my own personal experience. So, all right, this is what my work area looked like. So, have fun, be strong, lift big, and hit me up if you have any questions on how to make these. I'm not an expert, but I can tell you what worked for me and what will work for me as I continue the process. All right, have a good day.